Motorola's splurge of Moto G devices in recent years has muddied the once crystal clear budget phone waters. It used to be simple. If you wanted to spend less than $170 on a smartphone, you bought a Moto G. Nowadays, there's a Moto G phone out there that costs as much as an iPhone, following on from the PS400 Moto G200 5G. However, Motorola has unveiled the Moto G22, which is much more in keeping with the original Moto G concept. This is a phone that offers a smart design, clean stock Android 12 software, excellent stamina, and a competent camera for just $139.99. There are a couple of noteworthy catches, however. Design and screen. There are no great surprises with regards to how the Moto G22 looks or feels. The brand has long made some of the most reassuringly solid cheap phones on the market, and that continues to be true here. As always, the construction is all plastic, but it doesn't feel especially cheap or tacky. There is a pleasing split angle to the frame. While the rear cover has a glass-like sheen, it does pick up fingerprints rather easily. However, our test model comes in cosmic black, but there are also iceberg blue and pearl white variants available. If you prefer to make more of a bold statement, I quite like the stealthy approach for such affordable phones. Camera. Competent 50-megapixel wide camera. 8-megapixel ultra-wide can match it for color or detail. Superfluous 2-megapixel depth and macro sensors. The Moto G22 packs in a quad-sensor camera system, although there are only two cameras of note. A 50-megapixel f1.8 wide and an 8-megapixel f2.2 ultra-wide. The other two slots are occupied by a 2-megapixel macro and a 2-megapixel depth sensor, which will be pretty irrelevant for most people, from what I can determine. It's the same setup as the Moto G31, with the addition of that depth sensor. This means that you get a perfectly adequate main camera that produces fairly sharp 12.5 megapixel shots using a 4:1 pixel binning technique. Feed this sensor with plenty of light, and it can produce pleasing results. There's a hint of overexposure on brighter elements, but in general the Auto HDR does a competent job of balancing light and shade, and Motorola's color science doesn't do anything too wacky or unnatural. Performance. Very weak MediaTek Helio G37. Crisp, stockish Android 12. No 5G, but NFC is present. Performance might just be the Moto G22's fatal flaw, which I say with full acknowledgement that it's aiming to compete with the other best cheap phones. The phone comes equipped with a MediaTek Helio G37, which comes up short even compared to the rest of Motorola's current budget lineup. As I've already alluded to, the Moto G22 struggles to maintain that alleged 90Hz display refresh rate once activated, with frequent halts and stutters when simply navigating between home screens and apps, and even among menus. Battery life. Generous 5000 mAh battery, good for 2 days of solid usage, slightly slow 15W charger, as well as keen pricing, solid build quality and clean software. You can generally rely on a Moto G phone to deliver strong stamina, thanks to a 5000 mAh battery and that dim 720 display. The Moto G22 doesn't let the side down. I was able to get through a full day of use, with 90Hz active and around 3 years 30 minutes of screen on time, with more than 50% in the tank. I'm confident I could have made it through a second day, as long as I wasn't expecting it to be a particularly intense one. Should you buy it? You want a neat design for not a lot of money. If your budget is just $140, you'll struggle to find a better built phone than the Moto G22. You want a smooth performer? The Moto G22's performance is terrible, struggling for a consistent frame rate on home screens and menus alike. It's a complete write-off for 3D games. Overview. The Moto G22 is another solidly built budget phone from Motorola. No other manufacturer makes quite such tidy, classy hardware for such little money. Combined with stock Android 12 software, it's one of the cleanest looking cheap phones on the market. However, its atrocious performance and poor display make it tough to recommend. We're not expecting tip-top high-end gaming performance from a phone that costs less than $150. But we do expect it to be able to handle basic menu and home screen navigation without constant stutters. It makes the mere provision of a 90Hz display option seem like a cruel joke. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.